Campfire question. Where we answer your questions about life, the universe, and synthetic grease. This week we have a question from Roy McLean, who asked, how often should you pack the bearings? What bearings are we discussing? Well, we're talking about the wheel bearings on your travel trailer. If you have a travel trailer, maybe you didn't know this, maybe no one ever told you, but you have to repack the wheel bearings with grease on an ongoing basis.
Or otherwise, your wheel will potentially fall off while you're going down the road.
Yeah, there's major downside risk to not performing this regular maintenance.
Well, if you're going by the book, you should repack your wheel bearings either every year or every 10,000 miles. So that's the perfect by the book. You're doing things the way whoever says you should.
If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you disliked it, give it a thumbs down.
Yeah, we're kind of going to give you two answers. There's the by the book industry standard answer, and that's annually or 10,000 miles, whichever comes first. Then there's the real world. And frankly, a lot of people go longer than that in the real world. In fact, one of the most extreme examples that I can think of, we have a friend who's a fellow Airstreamer who was never told about repacking the wheel bearings. And
Well, it's something they don't tell you. And if you've never owned a trailer before, you don't know that you're supposed to do that. I mean,
we have a friend who had an Airstream, drove it like
40,000 miles.
40,000 miles without ever once repacking the wheel bearings. And guess what happened? In Yellowstone Park, of all places.
He's in a parking lot, thank goodness.
And Old Faithful parking lot, his wheel literally fell off the trailer.
It had just sheared through and fell off.
There are a few exceptions in the modern travel trailers. I think the new Airstreams are equipped with Never Lube wheel bearings. But anyway, with most travel trailers, you're going to have to do this on an ongoing basis. And here's the issue. Even if you haven't towed your trailer very far, the wheels often are exposed to weather, they're exposed to rain, and over time, that grease dissipates. As the Jedi Master Yoda once said, condensation leads to corrosion. Corrosion leads to friction. Friction leads to bearing failure, and failure leads to suffering. Also, anytime you tow the trailer and your brakes are emitting heat, the wheel bearings get hot, and that causes that grease to dissipate. As far as the price goes on this job, if you're paying somebody to do it, it's typically a couple $100, give or take.
I will say be careful of where you have it done, because we've had it done at like a tire change place. When they were changing the tires on our Airstream, we had them repack the bearings. And we later found out that they only repacked 2 wheels, not all 4. So go to a trusted RV repair maintenance type of place.
If you do an online internet search for how to repack your trailer wheel bearings, you're going to find some how-to guides. It can be done at home. It's going to take you 2 or 3 hours probably, and you're going to probably get a little messy.
I think that the process of actually repacking the bearings in grease is pretty easy, but it's just the getting to the bearings and then, of course, putting the wheel back on, etc. That's the time-consuming part. It's just taking the wheel off and then putting it back on and jacking up your trailer. That sort of thing is the time-consuming sort of pain-in-the-butt aspect.
Right. Circling back to our original question, Roy and his wife have had their trailer for about a year. They've only pulled the trailer a few hundred miles. Probably there's plenty of grease on those bearings. And if you're not certain, you can pop the caps off and inspect the bearings and see how the grease looks. Because there have been times when we have inspected our wheel bearings and there's been plenty of grease and we haven't felt the need to repack them.
If it's been longer than a year since you've done it, even if you haven't gone very far mileage-wise, you might want to take a look at them and just see. As far as the mileage goes, though, I definitely think you should, do it every 10,000 miles. I wouldn't go beyond the 10,000 mark if you can help it.
And the next time we repack our bearings, we're going to use synthetic grease. This is by Arch Oil. I'm just giving a little shout out to Arch Oil because I think pretty highly of their products. We've used their stuff in our truck, Seymour. And so they sent us this synthetic grease that we're going to use with our wheel bearings the next time we have this done.
We'll keep you posted on how that goes.
Yeah. If you're new to our channel here on YouTube, please subscribe because we will be talking more about the fascinating topic of trailer wheel bearings in the future. And in fact, we will probably do some sort of video showing our bearings being repacked.
And will either be done by us or someone else. We're not quite sure about that yet.
Until next time, as always, thank you for tuning in.
Give us a like, tell your friends about us, share this with all your RVing buddies. And until next time, lo-lo-ho.
Lo-lo-ho.
If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you disliked it, give it a thumbs down. Feel free to leave a comment. And of course, don't forget to subscribe.
Sorry.
You're scaring the dog.
Sorry. By popular demand, Long Long Honeymoon is now on Patreon.
If you want to be a Loloho VIP, check it out.